You stepped into the living room hoping for a football game and instead got a lesson in timing, not the good kind. 1 minute, the Browns were up, the crowd buzzing. The other minute, Dillon Gabriel was gone, and a fifth-round rookie named Shedeur Sanders was being told, go. What we saw in those first regular season snaps wasn't just a stat line. It was a story about how the NFL builds quarterbacks and what happens when the schedule refuses to wait for the academy. Reuters on paper, the numbers look brutal and short. 4 for 16, 47 yards, an interception, a fumble, 2 sacks, and a passer rating that read like a wake-up call. Those box score bullets tell you the outcome. Cleveland lost 23-16, but they don't tell you everything behind the curtain. He played in a game plan that wasn't designed for him after a week where he hadn't been taking first-team reps and against a defense that made rookies look small. The result felt inevitable and, honestly, a little cruel. Reuters. What the tape does show, even in a short and shaky audition, is two things at once: flashes and fundamentals undone. There were throws, a near-perfect back shoulder to Gage Larvadain that got broken up at the last second, a 25-yard connection to Harold Fannin Jr. that reminded you why college tape once had scouts excited. Then there were the rookie trappings, holding the ball too long, getting chased out of rhythm, taking sacks because the pre-snap plan never had a chance to materialize. That contrast is the modern rookie's cruel paradox. The highlight reel and the homework turned into a single afternoon. Yahoo Thethau. Now, let's be blunt about organizational intent. The Browns arrived at this season with a deliberate plan. Dillon Gabriel was going to be the developmental starter. Joe Flacco would be veteran insurance, and Shedeur would be farther down the line. He slid to the 5th round for reasons that scouts and execs argued over all spring. Cleveland did eventually pick him at number 144, but he was never the roster priority the moment camp opened. That context matters because one half of live NFL snaps does not erase months of how a team actually prepared its players. The Browns' public line is clear. Gabriel remains the starter if and when he clears concussion protocol. And that clarity is also a roadmap for how the team will allocate reps this week. People.com. There's a social layer to all this too. Shedeur arrived with a famous name and enormous attention, chants, hot takes, and a magnifying glass that never quit. He's young, he knows the noise, and after the game, he did the thing that a lot of rookies do. He owned it. He felt it. He said he didn't play well. That humility matters in the room, and it mattered in a bigger, human way when veteran Myles Garrett stepped up publicly to shield him. Garrett's message was simple and concrete. This was a team game, and no single player, least of all a rookie thrust into the moment, should carry the weight alone. That kind of leadership might not fix mechanics, but it can keep a player from folding emotionally. SIs. So what do those snaps tell us about his future in Cleveland? Short answer, not much changes today. The Browns still plan to treat Gabriel as the starter when he's medically cleared. If Gabriel can't pass protocol, Shedeur gets a real week of first-team practice and a chance to show what a full prep looks like. If Gabriel is cleared, Sanders likely steps back into the developmental lane. One emergency audition doesn't rewrite a team's plan, but it does give coaches real tape to judge, and that tape was, frankly, useful. It told them what to teach, how to coach him, and whether putting more urgent resources toward his development makes practical sense. Yahoo Thethau. There's also a structural truth about quarterback development that blows up hot takes. You don't split rookie reps and expect either player to fully emerge. Practice reps with the first-team offense are currency. The Browns' original plan to have one rookie absorb most of those reps while keeping a veteran backup for coverage was defensible. When teams try to raise two quarterbacks at once, neither gets the repeated live reps essential to mastering reads, progressions, and the cadence with NFL speed. That's why Sanders' debut arrived with the awkwardness it did. He was undercooked for the scenario he was asked to handle. Yahoo Thethau. But don't put a permanent label on a player's ceiling based on one forced drive. The NFL has long memory for hype and very short patience for coaching. If Sanders gets meaningful, focused practice time this coming week and translates that to a cleaner, controlled performance in a potential Week 12 start, the narrative shifts overnight. Coaches respect results. If you give a guy 100% of the reps and he answers with production rather than drama, the organization adapts. For now, though, the safer bet is that Cleveland remains cautious. They've watched the tape, and today's tape mostly confirmed the timing of their initial plan. Yahoo Thethau. Here's the human moment that matters. A rookie sat in a locker room and tried to shoulder defeat. A veteran said, "Not on my watch." That small scene is the kind of cultural currency that wins seasons. If the Browns can pair that atmosphere, protection for young talent, accountability without annihilation, with a reasonable developmental strategy, meaning real reps, targeted coaching, and incremental live experiences, then Shedeur's flashes could become teachable, repeatable plays. If they do nothing but wait for miracle flashes, he'll remain a pet project and the public will keep handing out verdicts. SI final thought. One rough half doesn't mean a player is broken, and one audition doesn't make him a guaranteed starter. What it does do is crystallize questions and give a coaching staff a checklist. Refine footwork, speed up reads, clean mechanics under pressure, and build chemistry with primary targets. If Cleveland wants to pivot and accelerate Sanders' growth, the blueprint is obvious and expensive in practice time. If they want to stick to their original map, today's film will be used as confirmation rather than contrarian evidence. So when you scroll the hot takes tomorrow, keep this in mind. The NFL is a business of preparation, not just talent. Shedeur's first snaps told us where he is right now. Raw, talented, and not yet primed for full-time responsibility. And they also handed Cleveland a fork in the road. 1 week of preparation could change everything, or it could change nothing at all. Either way, the next move will speak louder than the debut ever did. Reuters. The Steelers get a 10-6 halftime lead, but the real headline is Aaron Rodgers limping into the locker room, favoring his left wrist. And that single image changes the feel of this game and maybe this season. Let's break down why this matters, what Pittsburgh should be thinking, and what to watch in the second half. First, the scoreboard. Both teams traded early scores, but after that, it was a field position punting chess match. Pittsburgh's early touchdown to Kenneth Gainwell, an 11-yard strike, showed the offense can manufacture short field success. The Bengals answered with Joe Flacco finding T. Higgins for a 28-yard score on a 9-play drive. Efficient, methodical, old-school passing attack. But neither side could sustain rhythm after those drives, and that's a problem for the Steelers because their defense won't cover up mistakes forever. Now the Rodgers situation. He's seen favoring his left wrist on the sideline late in the second quarter. Not a great look for a 41-year-old quarterback. Pittsburgh signed to be a stabilizing presence. A sore non-throwing hand can still be disruptive. It affects pocket feel, the ability to secure snaps under pressure, handoffs, and the incidental hits that come when sliding or getting knocked around. If there's structural injury, even a small fracture, that could cost practice time and availability. The team's medical staff will need imaging and